All right, so here are my rankings for week 5 of the college football season. So my number 1 team is new. I have Miami at number 1 at 4-0. They have wins over Florida, over Notre Dame, and over South Florida. So those are pretty good wins. I have Miami number 1, and they've dominated all of them. Number 2, I have Ohio State. They had a bye, but they still have that good win over Texas. Number 3, I have Oregon. They've looked dominant every single week. We'll really find out about Oregon this next week at Penn State. Number 4, I have Oklahoma. They have another quality win over Auburn this last week, and also a win over Michigan. Number 5, I have Georgia with that great win at Tennessee last week. They had a bye this week. Number 6, I have Florida State with another dominant performance, I believe, over Kent State this week. They're 3-0. All 3 wins have been blowouts, including one over Alabama. Number 7, I have LSU, so they fall for me 4 spots from last week. Their win at Clemson doesn't look as good now because Clemson looks trash. And so LSU, they haven't looked super sharp so far this year, but they are undefeated, so I have them at number 7. Number 8, I have Penn State at number 8 because they haven't beaten anybody yet. I don't know how in the AP poll they're number 3? They haven't beaten anyone yet. So they're number 8 for me, but they have dominated basically everyone they've played. But they've all played against like FCS opponents or very, very low tier group of 5 opponents, Penn State. But we'll find out as well how good they are against Oregon this week. Number 9, I have Texas Tech with a dominant performance at Utah this last week. They go up 9 spots for me at number 9. Number 10, I have Texas A&M. They still have that great win at Notre Dame. 11, who fell a spot from last week, is Texas. I mean, they look dominant against Sam Houston State, but that's Sam Houston State, one of the worst football teams this year. So we're still trying to find. We know Texas is still a good team because they went toe-to-toe at number 2, Ohio State, in my rankings. So we know they're still a good team because of that game. But they haven't beaten anyone good yet, so that's why they're not in my top 10 right now. They're number 11. Number 12, who also goes down 4 spots, is Iowa State. They are 4-0, but they did not look great their last game at Arkansas State. They barely win that by 8 points. But they're number 12 for me. Number 13, I have Vanderbilt. They have looked surprisingly great so far. Every single game they've won in dominant fashion. 4-0, all 4 blowout wins for Vanderbilt. At 13, 14, I have BYU. They're 3-0. Yes, they haven't really beaten anyone great yet, but they've been pretty dominant, especially on the defensive side. Right now, BYU is a top 5 defense in the country right now, giving up 16 total points in 3 games on defense. 15, I have Indiana. So Indiana was unranked for me last week at 28, so they jumped 13 spots in the rankings from 28 to 15 over their dominant win over then, for me, number 12, Illinois, who's unranked for me now. So I have Indiana 15. 16, I have Auburn, so they go down 3 spots after that close-to-road loss to Oklahoma, but Auburn also has that decent win at Baylor in week 1 as well. 17, I have Tennessee. They had another dominant win this week against not so good of a school, but they should have beaten number 5 Georgia, so that's why I still have them 17. They go down a spot from last week, though, because they didn't beat anyone good this week. 18, I have Georgia Tech. Another dominant performance yesterday. 19, I have South Florida with a dominant performance win, scoring 63 points, winning 63 to 14. So I have them at 19 at 3-1. 20, and by the way, South Florida's only loss was to now my number 1 team in the country, Miami. 20, I have Michigan with a pretty decent road win at Nebraska yesterday, escaping that. Their only loss was to at number 4, Oklahoma. Number 21, I have Alabama. Their only loss being on the road at number 6, Florida State. But Alabama's also beaten Wisconsin in dominant fashion. But Wisconsin doesn't look as good now after getting blown out to Maryland this last week. So I have Alabama 21, 22. I still have Ole Miss. They did have a decent win yesterday, home against Tulane, a Group of 5 team, one of the better Group of 5 teams. But I still need to see more out of Ole Miss after barely escaping at Kentucky, after barely escaping, I think, Arkansas. I still need to see more from Ole Miss. 23, I have TCU at 23. They had a decent win this last week against their rival SMU, so I have TCU at 23. I think they play at Arizona State this next week or the week after soon, so that would be an interesting game. And then 24, I have Missouri at 24 after getting a decent win against South Carolina, and they already have that win against their rival Kansas. So Missouri I have at 24. And 25, I have Notre Dame. They go down another spot. They're 1-2 with close losses to number 1 Miami on the road by 3, and a close home loss to number 10 Texas A&M by 1. But the reason why Notre Dame goes down a spot this week from last week at 24 to 25 is because they gave up 30 points at home to Purdue. Purdue is like the worst or one of the worst teams in the Big Ten, and they give up 30. So that's why they go down 1 for me at 25. And then my receiving votes from 26 to 30. At 26, I have Louisville at 3-0. 27, I have Mississippi State, I believe, at 4-0 and with a win over Arizona State. 28, I have Maryland at 4-0 after a dominant win at Wisconsin this last week. 29, I still have Arizona State with a nice win at Baylor this last week. And then 30, to wrap it up, I have Washington after getting a win over their rival Washington State this last week. And I think Washington's next game is home against Ohio State, so we'll see how that goes. That's my rankings for this week.